Hi guys, it's time for the reading 3 out of 52. And as I said in the last video of the second reading, that this is going to be a 10 card reading. But what I didn't say was that it's based on the Celtic cross. I don't use this spread very often, but actually I was super excited to have this spread assigned to me in the week 3 reading because I watched James Feeney's video about working with this Celtic cross. If you're like me, that you're not super excited about the Celtic cross, go and check out James's video and see if you get good tips as I did while working with the Celtic cross. I especially love how James links the vertical and the horizontal rows in his walkthrough of the Celtic cross, so go check that out. But let's jump into this reading, and today we are going to the deep end. I was wondering on what topic I would choose for the reading, and then I was listening Matt Oren's book Psychic Witch, the audiobook that I have, and actually that inspired me to the topic of today's reading. And why I'm saying we're jumping into the deep end, the question for today's reading is to communicate with my higher self and ask her what it is that she, they, whatever I should call my higher self, what was the plan for this incarnation? What it is that I'm meant to experience? What's the master plan behind it all? And let's see, I've never tried to read tarot with a humongous question like this, but let's see. I don't know, I haven't opened. This time I'm filming while I'm doing this. Before I did first the readings and writings and then went through it, but today I'm doing this a bit filming, then a bit journaling, and then jumping between. Let's see how that works, but I don't know yet how this is gonna go. Before I started reading, I spent time in a meditation. I had my elemental symbols here, and I did a little ritual because yesterday I made myself this necklace out of there's white jade, different type of stones. I made myself a necklace, and I cleansed it yesterday and let it here on my altar for the night. And before I started the reading, I did kind of a elemental ritual for this necklace with all the 4 elements: the fire, the water, the air, oh, there's a feather if you can't see it, and rock for earth. After doing the ritual for this jewelry, I put it on me and went into my meditation and connecting with the higher self. And for me, how I did that was trying to visualize the crown chakra and there find the connection with my higher self. And that was very pleasant meditation. So I've requested her or their presence in this reading, and I'm wearing this necklace that I've now charged for a specific purpose linked to my higher self. So I'm putting this on and jumping in to the reading, and be back soon. So the question that I managed to write in the Fountain Tarot journal was like, hello higher self, what were you hoping to experience with me in this incarnation? But you can transform that. I went with the more conversational way of doing this. I wanted to use the positions given to me by the journal in this Celtic cross. And the placings that we have here is the present, the challenge, the past, the future, goals, subconscious, advice, community, hopes and fears, and the outcome. Actually, in the book, they align these last 4 cards coming from up to bottom, but I had to switch the orientation the way that I'm used to doing the Celtic cross whenever I do it. So let's start with the first card, and it is the card of the present, and we're asking from my higher self that what the F are we doing here? And there we have the devil. Interesting start. So the devil card in this deck is quite different. We do see the kind of female and male figure there on steps. They are wrapped in some sort of cloth that is holding them on their places, but we can't really see the figure down behind them. So I'll just start breaking down the thoughts that the devil is bringing to me. We have a cardinal earth sign, the card of Capricorn, and it is the path number 26, the path of Ayin, which means the eye when we look at the Kabbalah. But to me, my initial interest is going to astrology. Because when I think about my birth chart, depending on the house system that we use, but for me, my south node is in Capricorn. If we use the whole house system, is in the ninth house of Capricorn, in Capricorn, or depending on if we switch the house system, it is in the 10th house. But again, in Capricorn. So immediately I'm thinking about my comfort zone in my south node. So what are we here to change on that? And the second card. So the second card of challenge is the 3 of Wands. And I love again how different image of the 3 of Wands it is here in the Fountain Tarot. And my initial thought is, I'm trying to drag myself out. I'm pulling myself out from my comfort zone, using the willpower, using the inspiration, using my fire energy of dragging myself out from my south nodal position in the Capricorn with the devil card, kind of working my way towards something. Then third card of past, we have the Queen of Swords. And within the context of this reading, I can't help but get the image of me as my higher self, sitting on that throne as the Queen of Swords and setting up the plan for this incarnation. She is determined. She knows what she wants to achieve, and I think she has a tough plan set out for us in this life. Let's see how we continue. Then on the next side we have the fourth card of future. And there we have the beautiful pole dancing star. She's twisting and turning around that. There's water dripping from her toes. So I guess that the path that we're on is somehow related to maybe some sort of healing. Let's see. With the Celtic cross, it's always harder to see the full picture before we have all the images out here. So let's continue. And in the 5th card, and with this spread in this book, it's goals. And we got the King of Wands. So immediately, when it's in the position of goals, I'm thinking about her wish on growing. The Queen of Swords moving from Binah to Chokmah into wisdom. So I see a want of growth there as the Queen of Swords making the plans, and in the goal position getting the King of Wands in the 2nd Sephiroth of Chokmah. And then the subconscious as the 6th card. Here we have the 6 of coins, so 6 of pentacles. And initially, and straight away I'm thinking about giving and receiving and charity and gaining balance, or redeeming something. Like balancing the scales in a way. Let's see where that develops as we go further. And in the 7th position, as a card for advice, the 10 of Swords. So it's not gonna be an easy path that the Queen of Swords has planned for us. There is renewal to be achieved, lessons to be thoroughly learned and not carried over anymore. There is some sort of cycle we need to bring to completion, and it looks like it might not be a really pleasant one. I guess it's Queen of Swords saying no pain, no gain. And the 8th card of community. Oh, well, hello, 5 of Cups. There you are again. You were here also in the first reading, reminding me of going from darkness into the light. But what are you saying in my community position in this Celtic cross? I guess there must be some sort of past trauma. Past life trauma, maybe? Or maybe some inherited collective trauma that needs to be redeemed and fixed with the 6 of coins, 6 of pentacles there. I feel that these two are linked. And the 9th card of Hope and Fears. We have the beautiful Queen of Cups. Waist deep in water, waist deep in emotions. And she's the court card, ruling over the 2 first decans of Cancer. So I cannot but help of thinking my South Node in Capricorn and my North Node in Cancer. So this feels highly important in this reading, even though it's just a court card. Finding me, hopes of finding that, where I'm supposed to go. What is the place where the Three of Wands is trying to drag me out from my South Node in Capricorn towards my North Node in Cancer? Then what about the outcome? Where is this all going to? What's the end game for the higher self? What are we hoping to achieve during this lifetime? Four of Swords. We need some peace of mind, some sort of reconciliation, redeeming something to reach this tranquil, peaceful set of mind. I cannot help but thinking that we are talking a lot about cleaning some shit out in this path. But let's try to look at the whole picture. If I'm trying to quickly pull this in together, we do have here, we have two majors, the Devil and the Star. We have two Wands, the Three of Wands and the King of Wands here. We have three swords, the Queen, the Four and the 10. Then we have the water in the cups, two cups. But then we do have the Pentacles, the Earth. So we actually have all the elements which are on the table. Actually, I had to switch off the candle because it was bothering the lighting of this video, but I have two other candles burning there. But we do have the balance of fire, the water, the earth, and the air. We have it all there. And as a quick summary into the question of the higher self, that what is the goal? Because maybe some people know what the fuck they are supposed to do in this lifetime. Most of the time I'm clueless. I don't know where to go and what to do and what's my purpose. And that's one big part of my spiritual path. But in this discussion with my higher self, we see me pulling my way out of my comfort zone, away from my South Node, where I am accustomed actually being. We're seeing the growth that the Queen of Swords is planning. Growth from the intellect to the passion. And we're jumping from the third to the second Sephiroth here. And it is actually a jump also between the two worlds from Yetzirah, from the world of swords, and the third Sephiroth of Binah in Yetzirah, jumping all the way to Atzilut, the archetypal world, and to the second Sephiroth of Chokmah. So there's definitely a growth story in the plans. And what I'm thinking here in the six of coins is balancing the scales. There must be something that has been done in an incorrect manner earlier. We need to correct the scales and redeem something, to give back whatever I have received in the past and give it forward in the future, in the hope of becoming better and healing the past. I strongly see the star as healing, this time in this spread. And the transformation process, which doesn't look painless and easy, is in the plans, what she planned, and maybe also some inherited trauma, some sort of sorrow and loss, a grieving process, and leaving that behind in the hopes of finding my place, my North Node in the world of water, in the world of Cancer, in the beautiful Queen of Cups, immersing myself deep in that water, letting it transform me, and all this leads to gaining some peace of mind. I don't know if the correct word in English is resolution. And as a quick sneak peek, it is really messy. That's why I don't do journaling a lot, because when I write to this journal, it's like all of those brain farts are just coming out. It's just messy words. And then when I just write in the conclusion, it all starts to make sense. But as I go and do the reading, I write out little bits and pieces and symbols, and then I do try to make the connections and find the correspondences in the different areas. Today we were pretty much looking in to more of the astrology side of things, and I use these tables because, as you see here, my North Node is somewhere here in the beginning parts of Cancer, and here we see the Queen of Cups ruling it all, and here somewhere up in the Capricorn, in the beginning of it, we have my South Node, my comfort zone, what I'm used to. And this is the path that I am supposed to walk on and pull myself out from the path of the devil, from the path of Ayin, my South Node in the Capricorn, and the plan to jump from between the worlds, from Binah to Chokmah. So this was today's messy ramble. Let's see when I get to edit this what we got out of it. But I was happy to use the Celtic cross, even though it is kind of time-consuming spread. But I was happy to work with it, and maybe in the future I will do some other exercise with this. But this was week 3. Let's see what we have on week 4, because now the next spread I'm going to have to figure out the spread, the question, and the card placings and everything, so I have a bit more freedom. And let's see what we find in the question. Today we had a deep conversation with the higher self, and this was a long process. So maybe next time I try to do something a bit quicker. And the resources that I went back to and looked into this time, I used my birth chart and just these printouts that I've Googled out of the correspondences in the Wheel in Tarot and the Tree of Life. Those are easy to find. But a lot of the ideas that turned out from my North and South Node were actually from the birth chart reading that I had from Saturnarim several months ago, and they just popped into my head while doing this reading. So Saturnarim is a great reference when you want to learn also not only about tarot but also astrology. Her knowledge is amazing. So I have to thank you, Saturnarim, because today, even though doing this reading up here in cold Finland, you were present with me, with your insights also were part of this reading. But until next time, bye guys.